Over the 9 long years that Stardew Valley has been out for, there have been many fun and useful glitches that have been used, abused, patched, and sadly, forgotten. However, today, I've used some dark magic to obtain a copy of Stardew Valley 1.2.33, which was released in July of 2017. So today, we're going to be going through a list of all of these forgotten glitches, and I'll be demonstrating to you right here how to do them and what they looked like. So the first glitch we're going to start with today is the good old journal trick. Basically, if you didn't know, this is the journal in Stardew Valley. Now, while you're in the journal, no time passes. And so people used to use this trick to 1, pass no time while fishing, and 2, being able to stay out later than 2 AM. So first, I'll show you the fishing one. So if we get a rod, a fishing rod, and we put it out. Now, if you press F, which is the button for the journal, it doesn't come up, but if you just click the icon here, it appears. And as you can see, no time is passing. But still, while there's no time passing, I can still fish because, again, it's a glitch. It's not supposed to be in the game. Now, back in the day, this was one of the most notorious glitches, but it's been patched since, if I had to guess, around 1.3 or so. Now, the second useful part of this is to do with time. So let's go to 2 AM, and at 2 AM, you faint. Like so. But if you click your journal, it can go to 2:10 AM and you can keep going. Now, every time 10 in-game minutes passes, which is about 7 seconds in real life, it plays the animation again and you have to keep clicking it. But this was really useful because say you went to the mines, you stayed up way too late and it was like 1:50 and you had to get back. Well, this means that you could get back to your bed after 2 AM. And yes, this does just go on as long as you let it. So no more of that. No more of this. No more of this collapsing in front of your bed. With this glitch, it doesn't matter. You do still, however, lose energy the next day like you do when you normally faint at 2 AM. The next one is an infinite energy glitch, which I believe Dangerously Funny used to refer to as the landshark. Now, to do this glitch, we have to go to the bathhouse. I know, this area that this is a forgotten area of Stardew Valley that no one ever uses at all. But to this glitch, you actually have to use another glitch, which is the out of bounds glitch. Now, actually, let's get a galaxy sword because it's the fastest thing. I'm surprised the Galaxy Sword is even in this version of the game. So anyway, the out of bounds glitch, which I'm pretty sure should still be in the game. I don't think there is a way to patch this really, but you essentially do this. You go to the edge of a boundary and you just spam something over and over again, like a scythe or a sword, and it slowly moves you until you're off the screen. Now, once you're off the screen, you can walk wherever you want, like you're out of bounds. And we use this to get into the bathhouse. Once you're in the bathhouse, you need to get a fence like so, and don't place it. Okay, this looks so weird. Don't place it right here. Place it here. 1 out. And the reason is because to get into the bathhouse normally, you have to go through this area here. And this area here, it turns you into this mode where you walk all slow and you also can't use any of your items. You see, you can't use any of your items. However, since we've cheated this pole in here that shouldn't be here, what happens is when you jump in, you hit the pole and it bugs it out a bit. And then you can just walk out of here while in this mode. Now, you still can't use any items, but once you get to here, you are now allowed to use items again. Now, the best part of this is when you're in the bathhouse, it regains your energy. So now that we're technically still in the bathhouse, according to this animation, if you look down here, every time we use energy, it instantly gets healed up because that's how fast you use up energy when you're out of it. And just to make sure, I don't have infinite stamina or health on, and as you can see, it's still working. Now, this is a really old one that originated all the way back in like 2016, and I believe it got patched in 2017 or 18, and I can't get out of here because I haven't unlocked the bathhouse yet. Now, this is kind of annoying me, so I'm just going to go to sleep to try and reset it. Oh, wait, it doesn't reset? That's awesome. Hang on, does the effect still? Oh, that's awesome. I'm just going to quit to the title to try and see if loading back in will reset it. Okay, that was a quick reset. Good. The other way to reset it is go back to the bathhouse and jump back into the pole, and you can reset it that way. The next one we're going to look at is the Catalogue exploit glitch. Now, if you've heard of the item ID glitch, this is similar but different. Now, the way this glitch works is you can place certain wallpapers into an incubator, which is something you find in a coop. Usually you place an egg into it to incubate the chicken. But if you place wallpapers in there, it will give you certain items because of item IDs and stuff. But first, we have to get a coop. Now, I don't think there's anything in this old version of CJB Cheats menu to just spawn something like that. So we're going to do this thing called clearing out some space and warping to Robins. All right, we're here and we're going to need some stone. Oh my god, which stone do we get? This stone gives you energy? Okay, I'm just going to ignore that and let's get some wood. So now, Robin is not going to get out of her bed. That's good, isn't it? What if we make it 12 p.m.? At 12 p.m., is Robin going to get out of her bed? Or does she not get out on rainy days? It's Wednesday, bro. You should be open. Oh, I'm just going to warp back to the farm and sleep till tomorrow. And hopefully we can trigger Robin tomorrow so I can actually buy from her. All right, let's make it 10 a.m. and warp to the carpenter. And she's still in her bed. That is not good. It might just be because it's an old version of CJB. This is really annoying. Well, my introductions is completely screwed up. That's not supposed to appear. That's good. Well, I really want to show you this glitch and I think we'll get back to it later, but right now Robin just doesn't want to build me a damn coop, so that's really annoying. Next thing we're going to be looking at is the casino slot machine exploit. Now, this one isn't a glitch, it's an exploit because you exploit a certain part of the game's mechanics, but it's good enough to be in this video. So first up, we have to go to the casino. Oh shit, he's not happy with that one. What if we get a club? Oh shit, we can't get a club card. Are you serious? Surely I can unlock it in cheats menu. Okay, this shit is so old. It doesn't even have a wallet tab for me to add the casino card. So here's what we're gonna do. Now we should have the club card, and I'm going to save because that took me like 2 minutes to get. All right, now we are at the casino. First off, we're going to need some of these casino coins. So we're just going to add 10,000 so we have some. And this exploit involved the slot machines. So basically how this works is that you continuously bet 10, as that is the small bet, until you get a win of 3 in a row or bigger. So we'll just wait till we get that. And just like that, we've got a win of 3 in a row. So now after you get this win, the next one will be a loss. So you bet 10. And then every single time, the next one will be a win, so you bet 100. Now, 1 cherry counts as a win, so we got the win. That was really the lowest win we could have gotten. But we started with 10,000 coins, and we're already 140 coins up. So if you just sit here and click 10 long enough, then as soon as you get a win of 3 in a row, you bet 10, and then you bet 100. And then you keep doing 10 until you get the same thing that happens. Also, I don't remember if luck influences your winnings at this part of the game, because luck influences most things in the game, and especially at this point in the game's history it did, but I don't really remember. And I'm having the true gambling experience of winning something early on and then continuously losing a bunch of money afterwards. Okay, we've won parsnips, so we bet 10. This one's a loss. And then after this one, we bet 100, and this one will be a win. And it looks like parsnips, yep. And just like that, we're 430 up and we can leave. Because I want to make it 9 o'clock and check on Robin. Okay, it seems Robin's still giving me the cold shoulder, so this is not good. I want to see if any of the other NPCs are out. Hopefully my entire game just isn't broken somehow. Okay, the other NPCs are out. It just seems that Robin doesn't want to be out. That's great. Well, anyway, the next glitch / exploit that used to be in the game was the teleporting horse glitch. Now, this is not anywhere as near as exciting as it sounds, and I'll just put it up on screen right now because I'm not even going to try and attempt it. It would take way too much time and it's way too boring. No, I actually can't do it with this version of the game because this version of the game is way too old. Because basically what the trick is when you use a warp obelisk, you can't use your horse. You're not allowed to warp your horse. However, if you click the screen, I think in a particular spot or something like that, you could warp your horse along with the obelisk. Now, obelisks were introduced in 1.3 and this is 1.2.33. So this is too old to even have warp obelisks. Also in the 1.5 update, Ginger Island was introduced, and in Ginger Island, there's Mr. Key's little secret area. And from him, you can buy the horse flute, which just teleports your horse to you anyway. So in the 1.3 and 4 days, that glitch was useful, but it might have been patched in 1.4. But the 1.5 and 6 days, you don't even need it anymore. And Robin is still just not budging. This is genuinely concerning at this point. Robin, it's okay. You're allowed to move out of bed. Oh. Anyway, the next glitch we're going to be looking at is the Crystalarium glitch. Now, since I don't want to leave Robin unattended, let's do the glitch right here. Oh, you can't even stack Crystalariums. This game's too fucking old. All right, let's get 5 Crystalariums as an example. So basically how this glitch used to work is if you got something low level like quartz and you wanted to put something high level like diamonds in, well, all you would need is 1 diamond and a couple of quartz. So step 1, you put all of these with quartz, and then you wait for them until they're done. Now, I just realized this game's so old. CJB cheats menu, I don't think... Oh, no, it does. Yes. Okay. Fast machine processing, Crystalarium. We'll turn that on, and when it turns to 1, these will all be done. Okay, it's 1 p.m. They're all done. Let's turn that off so it doesn't interfere. And now, when you're doing this, if you right-click it, it will instantly be done with a diamond. And that's because the quartz is already done, but if you just click the already done quartz with 1 diamond, the game glitches out and it just gives you the diamond back. Now, all of these, you've deleted the quartz basically, but all of these now have diamonds in them. So if we turn on the Crystalarium, fast machine processing again, these should all be diamonds. Yep, they all are. And from 1 diamond and 5 quartz, you've transmuted them into 6 different diamonds, or 5 new diamonds. And because they're crystallariums, they'll just continue to infinitively produce the same thing. All right, now that's done, let's have another look at Robin, because this is getting concerning. I need to build the coop, please. All right, the next one is the fast speed slime glitch. And for this, you're gonna need a slime and some coffee and a debuff. So if we go, let's just get some ladders up. All I need is a slime. Actually, the secret forest might be better. All right, we're in the secret forest and there's a slime. Okay, so we need a coffee, and the person in the video, they use a warp scepter, but the scepter doesn't exist until 1.3. So do warp totems? Yes, warp totems work. So we're going to use one of these. All right, step 1, turn off this. And then step 2, get hit by the slime until you get gooed up. So once the debuff appears, yep, okay. We're going to instantly use that. So we go home and then we're going to instantly drink this coffee while it's still going. And now as soon as this wears off, we're going to get hyper speed apparently. Nope, we just have +1. Oh, that didn't work. That's unfortunate. So I'm just going to show the video on screen of how this is supposed to go. So yeah, I have no idea why this glitch works and why it doesn't work for me right now. But essentially, you get a speed debuff from the slime, you drink a speed buff, and then when the debuff wears off, for some reason, having a debuff and a speed buff at the same time messes it up and you just go super speed for a bit, which is pretty cool. Oh my God, Robin, please come out of the bed, please. I need to build a coop. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is an infinite money exploit. Now, this involves Krobus, his shop, and Pierre, but we're going to be ripping off Pierre, so it's the morally correct thing to do. Anyway, we need to go to the sewer, which I really hope Krobus even exists in this version of the game. I don't really remember what this game was like back then anymore. Okay, he does exist. That's a relief. So if you talk to Krobus, he'll have a shop, and some days he sells food items, but today is not the day, so we need to come back. Oh, the return scepter is, wait, it does exist? I can't spawn it in. See, it doesn't exist in CJB. What? I thought it didn't exist till 1.3. Hang on. Let's give ourselves $2 million real quick and then buy it. Okay, it works. Maybe this got added in 1.2. Anyway, let's go to sleep. Okay, seems to sell cooked dishes, which is what we're after on Saturdays anyway, so that's fine. Let's go back there today. All right, we're back here, and today he's going to be selling some food. So apparently, apparently there's a 5 limit to buying, but if you close the shop and reopen it, it appears? No. Hang on. Now, how this exploit is supposed to work is when you just close the menu and reopen it, the food just appears there again and you can buy it again. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to be happening today. Now, this worked back in 2018, December 2018, so basically 2019. It didn't get patched to 1.4, and this is a 2017 version of the game, so it should be working. But maybe this exploit didn't appear until even later in the game, like the 1.3 days. I really wanted to see this glitch work, so I might actually download a newer, old version of this game to see if it will work. But basically, sometimes Krobus would sell a cooking item for less than they were worth, so you could buy them from him, then you could go to Pierre's, and then sell these goods that you got for a lower price at the normal price and scam Pierre out of millions of dollars. But for some reason, this doesn't want to work right now, just like how Robin does not want to get out of her bed, which is great. Anyway, the next glitch that we're going to be looking at is definitely a glitch and not an exploit this time. It's actually a really funny one. This is one of my all-time favorite glitches in this game just because it's really funny. Now, unfortunately for me, my console command that would warp me down to the lowest level of the mines isn't working right now, so I have to manually go down 120 levels, so that's great. Also, staircases don't stack in this version of the game. All right, relaunching the game, got rid of all my errors that were coming out the console, and I can now warp here. So, this glitch involves level 120 of the mines, and once again, fence posts for some reason. So what you want to do is you want to just put 2 rows at least of ladders right here, and you also want a bomb, and I'd say put the bomb around there. And then once you do this, you'll get this suspicious ladder on 120 of the mines. And just to show you, usually, no, you can't put staircases on the bottom of the mines. That's not allowed. So where does this one lead? Well, it leads to level 1 of Skull Cavern. Now, why does this happen? Well, long story short, it's because of maths. Basically, in programming, if you want to assign something a number, one of the ways you can do that is you can assign it as an integer. Now, an integer is roughly 4,200,000,000 and something rather big. Now, if you want negative numbers as well, you can half that to have 2 billion and something rather. Now, mine levels in this game are assigned an integer, which is why the bottom of Skull Cavern is roughly 2 billion and something rather. However, that number is 120 levels off of the actual size of half an integer. Now, why is this? It's because the mine levels and the Skull Cavern levels are all grouped into the same integer. And so, technically, in the game's code, level 121 is actually level 1 of Skull Cavern. Oh my god. Robin's here today. All right, let's build this coop. And since I have instant build on, it should instantly build. Yep. And we should be able to build another, well, an upgraded one, because I'm pretty sure you need a fully upgraded coop to have an incubator, but I might be wrong. Regardless, now that Robin's actually here today, I'm not taking any chances. All right, now we have the biggest coop possible. So if we go back here, there should be this thing. Yep, the incubator that is right here. So now I can do the catalog exploit. Basically, you know how I mentioned before the item ID glitch? Well, if you don't know what the item ID glitch is, basically every item in Stardew Valley has its own item ID attached to it. For example, the most famous one is a prismatic shard with an item ID of 74. Now, when you're making your name, your farm name, your favorite thing in this game, anything like that, if you name it in brackets, bracket 74, bracket, anytime that name is mentioned in the game, for example, when a player talks to you and mentions your name, that item will instantly spawn into the game. Now, why is this? Well, it's because, as I said, each item has its own item ID, and for some reason, the way Stardew Valley is built, when you mention one of those IDs, no matter the context, it just spawns the item in. Now, the catalog exploit is very similar to this, because all catalogs in this game have their own ID attached to them. However, because catalog IDs are different to item IDs and they're stored in different parts of the game, their item IDs start from 0. Now, if we just get the catalog right here, oh, it has to be placed inside. Let's place it inside the coop. Nope, it doesn't want to be placed inside here either. Okay, that's good. Well, if we place it inside here, we have free access to every catalog, every wallpaper and flooring thing in the game. Now, this only costs, I think, 30 grand at Pierre's, or it did back in the day anyway. So that's pretty good. Okay, now I didn't actually need a coop for this exploit because, as I said, each catalog is its own item. The only one that's actually useful for this is this wallpaper in particular, because it has the same ID as the dinosaur egg, and the dinosaur egg is incubatable. Effectively, the game thinks we've put a dinosaur egg in. And for you guys that don't know, dinosaur eggs, they're a really, really rare find from artifact spots. And back in the day, so back in the 1.0, 1, 2, and 3 days, the dinosaur mines didn't exist because those dino floors in the mines didn't get added to 1.4. So 1.4 and onwards, it's fairly easy to get a dinosaur egg from the dinosaur mine levels nowadays. But back in the day, that just didn't exist. And so if you were unlucky like me or dangerously funny, this was honestly the easiest way to get dinosaur egg. Now, this does have a couple more uses. For example, some of the wallpapers can be used as gifts for NPCs. However, the most useful use for this glitch, aside from the dinosaur egg, would probably be using it as a way to get, or let's just throw this out, the galaxy sword from here. Because yep, that wallpaper apparently, according to the game, is actually a prismatic shard. So yeah, this isn't as cool as the item ID glitch, as you can't spawn absolutely every item, but it's pretty useful that you can get free gifts, a free galaxy sword, and free dinosaur eggs out of literal wallpapers from a catalog. All right, the last glitch that we're going to look at is a very simple, easy, and not very important glitch. It's a personal favorite of mine, so yeah. Now that glitch would of course be the anytime ice cream glitch, where, as the name suggests, you can get ice cream at any time, no matter the season. However, for this, we first need a horse, so I'm just going to build a stable because Robin is actually here today, and I don't trust any other day she might just disappear again. All right, so now that we've got a horse, we can go to Clint's, because just below Clint's is the little ice cream stand that's right here. Now, I believe this thing is only open in summer. Yep, closed until summer. However, if you get the little horse, okay, if we get the horse right here, then apparently there's someone there and we can buy ice cream. So personally, again, this isn't really the most useful thing of all time. It's nothing game breaking like the item ID glitch, but I think this glitch is pretty cool and fun. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. If you want to see me play through the original version of Stardew Valley, like Stardew Valley 1.0, the way it was on release, then comment down below. Because the Stardew Valley that we play nowadays is completely different from what Stardew Valley used to look like back in the day.